Hey, what is up, guys? It's your boy Alex, and welcome back to the Brave Lionheart channel. And if you're probably wondering why I sound like this, yeah, getting kind of sick after the holidays. Speaking of which, hope you guys had a great Christmas, and I hope you guys stayed safe and had a happy holidays. Honestly, wish I could have said the same because we started not feeling good after we took our trip for mostly 2 days. We got back yesterday. Yeah, it's not been fun this morning and last night. Ended up getting a scratchy throat and my nose is stuffed up, so yeah, may have to try and take it easy today, or try to. My throat's starting to feel a little bit better. I still need to take some throat spray. It's not a good flavor though. It's not, even though it says cherry flavor, it's not a good flavor because it's still medicine. Not swallowing it, mind you. I just have to keep it in my throat there for about 15 seconds. So, yeah, it's not fun. But hopefully the next few days I'll start feeling better, and hopefully this cold weather will die down. So, yeah, there's that. Anyway, I am going to try to get this video out today, and hopefully by the next few days I'll start feeling better. We'll see where we go from there. But today, ladies and gentlemen, we are taking a look at another rerez video. Yep, part of their Just Bad series again, and this is one that has actually been requested. I just didn't have time to get to it because I've been busy with other stuff and busy with work also. So there is that. Yeah. Today we are taking a look at Spider-Man and the Sinister Six. Now, normally when you hear that name, you think of maybe the NES game or other versions of it. Not exactly. You know what? We'll just start the video just so you guys can see what I'm talking about. Yeah, so like I said, hopefully I'll start feeling better by the next couple days, so hopefully I don't sound too sick in this video. Here's hoping for that. So, we're not going to just waste any time, and we're just going to jump straight into this video. So, without further ado, let's take a look at rerez's Just Bad games on Spider-Man and the Sinister Six. So, start the video in 3, 2, 1, let's go. Yeah, it's going to be hard to talk throughout most of this. So, I probably will stay silent for most of this as much as I can. I'll occasionally maybe talk. Hopefully that doesn't affect me. But yeah, when I first heard about this video, I thought they basically were talking about the NES game, but nope. It's a PC game.
Multimedia exclusively for PC in 1996.
The retro game
Also
enthusiasts of
getting
you out there may be thinking this is
stuffed up
simply a
nose
port
today,
of
so
Spider-Man
that's
Return of the
not
Sinister
good.
Six, which previously released on the NES, Master System, and Game Gear.
Heck, that's what we thought as well.
Oh, but more wrong we couldn't be. Not only are there several Spider-Man games that use the Sinister Six moniker, but not one of these games are actually connected to another.
Spider-Man Return of the Sinister Six and Spider-Man 2, The Sinister Six, are action platformers. They recreate the feeling of being the famous web slinger the best they can. You can crawl on walls and shoot spider webs. Perfection.
Not so much in the NES game, though.
At least in spirit.
This PC game, though, woo, it's something totally different. Why? Well, this officially licensed Spider-Man game is produced by a company with, how can we put this, a unique software track record.
1994 Seinfeld screensaver and
what?
planner for Windows 3.1. 1995 Baywatch companion with screensaver for Windows 95.
These, don't really sound like,
they're
video
just
games.
That's because
clips, I guess.
What they were, though, was a company expanding into the ever-evolving CD-ROM market. You see, Byron Priest Multimedia was a company experimenting with different forms of entertainment, and they decided to create a division to jump
Well, at least that media company was actually on brand for Spider-Man.
Attempted to utilize the burgeoning CD-ROM format to create high-quality images, amazing soundscapes, and of
Yikes,
course,
that's a rough character
state-of-the-art
model.
full-motion video. It's the wave of the future!
No, I take it back. That's more rough.
Well, what did the developers
excuse
achieve with
me?
their high-tech attempt at gamifying everyone's favorite wall crawler? Let's swing right into web-slinging action with Spider-Man the Sinister Six.
First, let's go ahead and have a look at the game's intro video.
This is funny.
Hold on.
Can we hear that
Hold
music
on.
again?
Also, to fix the camera there for a second.
Yes, the only
pretty
lyric
catchy,
is
though.
Spider-Man. Apparently, the lyricist was paid by the word. But why does the song even sound like this?
I think it's supposed to be a ripoff of the 1994 animated series theme song where they kind of do the same thing.
Yeah, I guess they did try to, like,
Gotta love when a developer
rip off
can
that
lock
theme
down
song.
the rights to an iconic superhero, but not the rights to the theme song of their animated show.
Oh, they must have saved their budget for all these here graphics.
Ooh,
Right on. But we
yikes.
digress. Let's start up the game.
Yeah, I can already tell this is gonna look... Oh no, the stick of dynamite attached to a digital bomb!
Oh no! Is the dev team trying to send us a message?
We see Mary Jane slowly prod the bomb.
Yeah, it seems like she's only fiddling with it with her
She's
one
clearly
arm
very
that only
emotional about
moves.
her impending doom. Flabbergasted.
Cut to Spider-Man swinging through the rooftops on his way to help.
The bomb's about to blow!
Spidey's not gonna make it!
Cut! Cut! Cut, Mary Jane! Come on, no way! Not enough suspense!
Or she was just
it
acting.
was just the set of a movie the whole time. You really had us there, MJ, with your acting.
Yes, Mary Jane is an actress here. The film that's being shot is her big break, as revealed by a loud, exposition-whispering Peter Parker.
I was kind of late. Sorry. I only saw a few seconds of it, but you were great, MJ. You
Kinda reminds me of the whispery voices from The Town with No Name. If anyone's seen that, especially with the AVGN reviewing it.
Motionless in the center of a room.
Now that's a Spider-Man game!
Okay.
Spider-Man!
Spider-Man!
50% of the game.
I'm never gonna get tired of that.
Who needs hours of non-stop thrills and action when you can click around a room aimlessly and speak at people until you, well, no longer need
Also,
to speak at people?
very,
Mind
very
your own
weird
business.
lip
I'm an
flaps.
award-winning director. Don't insult me by asking me to recite my long and extensive resume.
Scenes like this feature very little
They're not gonna stop
animation.
milking
They
that,
don't
I'll tell you
even bother
that.
To animate the director's upper lip.
Are you threatening me?
Yeah.
You're trespassing, pal. I could have you arrested.
Graphically, this game is a
I can't do his
weird
voice
mix.
with
The
how
backgrounds
my
are
voice
made
is
up
right
of
now.
pre-rendered CG images made to look kind of cartoony, and the characters are drawn in an oddly plain style that screams rushed.
Details are missing from one character to the
Yeah.
next. Look, Peter's got a shadow, MJ doesn't. His clothes are basically one flat color, while everyone else has incorporated shadows to show detail. There's no consistency.
I mean, there's some decent,
Clicking
like,
around and
shading
eventually
going
found
on.
out
Look here. I don't know who you think you are, but don't treat my wife like she's your doormat. Capiche?
Yup. Peter here is married to MJ.
Now, this might seem unimportant, but actually, it's pretty significant.
Like we said before, this game was released in 1996. As evidenced by the game's beautiful knockoff theme, it was clearly aiming to
Jeez.
engage the audience for the Spider-Man animated series that was broadcasting at the same time.
But anyone playing this game and following the cartoon in 96 would have likely been really confused, because Peter Parker and Mary Jane weren't married in that series until the final season.
Yeah, they were married in the comics. So who is this game supposed to appeal to exactly? Fans of the comics or the 1994 animated
Maybe a mix
series?
of
I think
both?
it all boils down to the production wanting to cash in on the animated show, but not being able to do so.
So we get comic book Spider-Man instead. Cool. This would explain why we don't get the web-slinger's voice actor from the 1994 cartoon. Instead, we get
You were great, MJ.
Peter Whispers Parker over here.
To the roof, people! Time is money!
Chip Alvarez, this director guy, I'm really starting to hate him.
Time is money!
He yells more than I
We jump to the rooftop set and
Oh,
Someone
yikes.
missed their high school art class on...
Yikes. This really does seem like a really bad rendered level for a game. Oh, yikes. I mean, I like the angles, though, but not the best kind of top-down view for a PC game, honestly. And again, this came out in 1996, so yeah, really not that great.
so
Oh,
much useless
jeez.
and pointless dialogue here
Well,
that it's kind of
let's continue on and see how the
impressive that
story
anyone could write
goes.
so much about nothing that's going on that's important to anybody.
First rule of making an action-packed superhero video game includes static images with drawn-out, completely disposable dialogue.
Maybe you remember me going over Niagara Falls on Honeymoon Homicide.
I remember that scene. Wow. Nice splash.
Thanks.
Also, I guess since you
that's
can't
a
really distinguish the
Spider-Man game.
voices, it's gonna be like really hard to tell who's talking right now.
Do you hear that? Plot progression.
Either there's a donut sale somewhere or there's big
Wow,
trouble.
Peter. Wow.
Oh, classic burn, Spidey. Seriously, though, someone might be dead.
But before Peter can verbally assault anyone else,
Action.
Whose voice was that?
Trembling. Why?
Also, really weird pose to be in right now.
Something bad happens on the movie set.
Whoa, okay. First off, what's happening right now is a story divergence moment.
yup, you can select one of two options and get a completely different result, leading to different scenarios. The game uses them a bunch.
Oh,
Once you
so they're
select
gonna be
one, you
doing
can't
that a
go
lot
back
in this
and make another
game.
choice. Players are
Yay!
likely to sit on the screen a little longer than usual to really think about their choice.
Which leads us to our next thought. Why pause on this frame?
Peter Parker,
Uh,
is played by a
I don't know,
middle-aged
it's the game's
dad about to
decision.
sneeze.
I didn't think it was possible to look surprised, bored, and like a schlubby Tom Hanks all at the same time. But hey, all right. Clearly they didn't render Peter very, flatteringly here. But we need to
Yeah,
make a
very
choice.
awkward
Let's follow
hand
the
movements
police.
you're
Those
doing there,
police
Peter.
stopped here.
Whoa. Hold on a minute.
You know, can we see that
Get rid of
again?
that ad real quick. Did he just... Okay. It's clear that the developers of this game honestly don't pay attention to the comics. You know for a fact that superheroes have to keep their secret identity a secret. Yet, Peter just decided to change into his costume literally in front of a bunch of people on a rooftop. I mean, unless he hid behind one of the smaller parts of the roof to do it, which clearly this game didn't show him doing, but... What? Why put that in a game? I don't understand what is... You know, we're just gonna continue on, but that is just stupid.
Wait,
Wow.
wasn't Peter just on a rooftop surrounded by an enormous film crew?
Yeah!
Yes, and immediately midair, he was dressed as Spider-Man.
When did he change?
Eventually, Spider-Man catches up with those police from earlier.
Whoa! Sorry to keep nitpicking
Yikes.
here, really, but look at this
Oh,
scene.
that's
Okay,
some
we've
bad
got badly
3D
rendered
texturing.
Police cars with solid
Ugh.
plates for hubcaps, no taillights or detail anywhere near the trunk.
So,
ultra-plain 3D
maybe they're
rendering
not
of
the real
front of
police from
bank
New York
with
City, or-
poorly drawn police officers
I don't
dotting
know.
the scene.
Why do the police look wet? Look at the two on the right. Whatever's going on in the bank, it's got them on edge.
Yeah, okay, pause. Something is really, really wrong here. You might be thinking we're being overly critical on the visuals or overall style of this game so far, but no, we're
Yikes.
not. Not for a game released in '96 with the Spider-Man property attached.
Spider-Man had a ton of games released by this time on multiple platforms, including the 1995 Spider-Man animated series game
Wow.
released on the Super Nintendo that, believe it or not, somehow found a way to replicate the
That
TV
is
show's theme on a
actually
cartridge that would have
impressive.
struggled to fit a single modern-day MP3.
Also, Halo was somehow in the
You
game.
can find games
All
that were
right.
being released on less powerful hardware that were at least attempting to pull off more cohesive visuals. Heck, the same year this PC game was released, Spider-Man Web of Fire came out for the Sega 32X and featured better pre-rendered assets. It's baffling that this
But
game
yet
exists
somehow this
looking the way
game
it
can't
does.
do
And
that.
don't even get us started on comparing it to other point-and-click games. We can go back years and show off tons of examples of games that made way better
Noctopolis.
use of the CD-ROM
Hey,
format.
Sam
Not
and
just featuring featuring
Facts.
better animations and graphics, but better audio, gameplay, and, well, just about everything.
Let's face it, the overall quality of Spider-Man vs. the Sinister Six is about on par with something like the atrocious Zelda CDI game. And even those
Yikes.
monstrosities were released years before this.
All
We're
that
off.
out of the way, let's see what else this adventure has in store for us.
After Peter talks to the police, he finds out that they're dealing with one of Spider-Man's classic foes, the Shocker. He's currently trying to rob the bank and has
What
taken
is up with the
hostages.
Shocker's
Eventually,
hands?
the Shocker calls the captain on his
Jeez.
cell phone, who puts him on speaker.
It's like the
so that
artists of the
Spidey
game
can join the
couldn't really
conversation.
draw hands that well.
For a shocker, buddy.
Jeez.
Guess what? You'll never get away with this.
Today is my lucky day. I strike it rich and I get to watch you die, Spider-Man.
I'm shocked by your threat, but I beg to differ.
Spider-Man walks to the back of the bank and finds a door that has some strange barrier over it. A little further, and he finds a trash receptacle holding the device responsible. When Spidey gets closer to deactivate it,
He finds one of the most deviously designed evildoer challenges
What is happening?
of all time.
up a cross puzzle.
That dastardly villain.
Happy Yoshi face. Oh, nice, perfect.
Happy
This
Yoshi is a
exactly
level.
what I
That-
wanted from a Spider-Man game.
That just gets a laugh out of
Puzzles in
me.
a dumpster.
Folks, it looks like we've got work to do.
Spider-Man, Spider-Man.
Wow.
This is hard to complete. Rats are nibbling
At his feet.
smells. Please help the Spider-Man.
Oh my god.
Seriously, can you help him? After we finally complete the puzzle, we get a pretty confusing sequence. Just have a look for yourself.
Time to cash.
Don't know how that matches his head.
Hey, what the? I'm in front of you. How did I get
What?
here?
Great working with you, wall crawler. Thanks to you, I'm
So-
a millionaire.
He got away.
That was all an illusion?
Shocker escaped with the cash.
How was Spider-Man warped to the front of the building? How did Shocker still get away? We crossed for you, game. We crossed.
We put
Maybe
cross!
we chose the wrong option back on the rooftop movie set, so we decided to load a save and try again.
Okay, let's choose to stay on the roof this time.
So if Peter doesn't jump off the roof, we see an action scene
Oh,
from the
shoot.
movie Go Wrong, where a stuntman is about to fall to his death.
Time for a little friendly neighbor.
Peter, again, literally changing into your costume right in front of everybody. Again, developers of this game don't understand Spider-Man, and I gotta get in frame because apparently my chair is off. See what this video is doing to me? And the fact that I'm still feeling very sick, but I'm able to talk better now is just... You know what, we're not going to focus on that. We're just going to focus on the rest of this video, but still. Peter, you know that you're doing this in front of everybody. You could just, like, hang off the side of of this rooftop to change.
Spidey attempts to save the stuntman.
But also, now that I'm
fails.
thinking about it, he
Luckily,
could
the film crew
actually
secures a safety
lose
net
all of his
just in
clothes,
time.
basically, if he did
revealed
that.
The villain Mysterio was behind the accident.
Oh,
Time
it's
for a boss fight. How
Mysterio!
does the quick and nimble wall crawler do battle with Mysterio, the manipulative master of illusion?
By popping purple balls.
What? Wow.
Anticlimactic.
Yes.
Eventually, Mysterio
This is
vanishes
gameplay,
in the
everybody.
fog, and Spider-Man decides to head back to his apartment. There, MJ and Peter watch the news. Turns out the director, Chip Alvarez from the film set, is being interviewed.
This so-called hero, Spider-Man, trespassed on my set. The disturbance nearly caused a member of my crew to plunge to his death.
What? People were there on set. Clearly, Mysterio is a known villain at this
I
point.
guess no one
You're
saw
telling
that.
me people saw Spider-Man and Mysterio duking it out on the rooftop and were like,
Gosh dang it, the Spider-Man is evil. He's popping Mysterio's happy bubbles.
Peter, clearly upset and probably just as confused as we are, changes the channel.
The Shocker has struck in Midtown Manhattan. The New York Central Bank headquarters was just robbed by the notorious supervillain.
oh, so that Shocker sequence we completed and somehow failed before we were loaded to the
That
roof took
apparently
place
happened
again,
off
even
screen
though we didn't
also.
play that option? Great to know that no
What
matter which
even is
option
this
you choose
game?
and successfully complete, the villains kind of just giggle and trot away.
Maybe it's because we're playing on hard mode. You see, when we first started the game, we were given the option to set the combat sequences, like the Mysterio battle, to easy or hard. Puzzles, like Trash Pacross, have the same option. Kind of a mix-and-match approach to difficulty.
Depending on the difficulty you
So
set,
there apparently is no,
attacks
like,
do more or less
medium
damage,
difficulty
which is
setting
pretty
for
run-of-the-mill.
combat and puzzles.
From hard to easy
Just
mode,
easy and
things
hard.
are
That's the only
very
two,
different.
You'd think
like, things
they'd
you
just
get.
make an easy mode puzzle a little simpler to solve by pre-solving some of the puzzle or giving you more information, but no. Here's that back alley Pacross section again. Spider-Man still finds the strange puzzle box. However, instead of dealing with a more simplified version of the puzzle, he straight up annihilates everything with a massive wrecking ball.
What?
Puzzle solved, bitch!
Wow.
I wish we could do this in every video game. Would have made Myst a lot better.
Oh,
Really though,
yikes.
it's not an easy puzzle. That's obliterating your problems.
We get that maybe some of you might not
Jeez.
want to do a Pacross puzzle because you might be afraid that you wouldn't be able to complete it, but on hard mode, there's a hint system at the top left, and the third hint is always the answer, no matter what puzzle they throw at you. Why not just remove those hints and only put them on the easy mode?
What's great is that in easy mode, they still offer you hints. Look, you're given a dumpster, and you're given a freaking wrecking ball. They think you might still get stumped?
Anyway, regardless of what
Oh,
path or
wow.
difficulty you choose, the story still
give you a
flows
second.
the
Okay,
same
there we go.
way.
That is to say, whether you play Stinky Pacross by the bank or decide to handle Mysterio's aggressive purple balls, you'll end up at the exact same place in the next
I
part
mean,
of the
can
story.
Spider-Man
Your
just, like,
decisions don't
dodge
really
those
matter all that
purple
much for most of the
balls or
game.
whatever?
Next up, Peter is hanging out on the film set again. Today, they're shooting an action scene with a bus.
The quality of these visuals, they're just... The buildings, the bus, Peter's solid back where they forgot to draw the lines indicating he has freaking arms.
What I love about this scene
I
is that MJ is shooting
guess
something
Peter's
that's
wearing one of those, like,
inside
no
the bus.
arm sleeve
So Peter
jackets
is talking
or
to
whatever.
her from the outside.
You're not going to be in any danger in this scene, are you?
I may get a bruise or two, but we've rehearsed it at least a dozen times. I'll be okay.
Well, I'll be right here to make sure of that.
Why would you have the character that's speaking facing the bus? Why did they not at least draw MJ through the glass panels of the bus?
Maybe
door
it's
here?
Well, you
magic
see,
school
Shane,
bus?
as the animator of such memorable rerez sequences as Spider with Maracas, Aquaman Armpit Fish Shave, and
Wow.
copied and pasted Money Ghost from earlier in this episode,
Is that pee-pee?
I can say without
Is that
a
pee-pee?
doubt that this is some lazy ass bullshit.
So you listen to dialogue and just stare at Peter wearing a stupid armless jacket, because if they're not going to draw two lines to indicate that Peter has arms, you better believe they're not going to animate more lip sync than they need to.
Suddenly, Vulture shows up
Oh,
with a
shoot.
fake Spider-Man. He announces that he's put a bomb on the bus, and fake Spider-Man has sealed off the door with his knockoff webbing.
Explosives are rigged to the bottom of that bus. When the gas tank falls below a quarter of the tank,
Oh, yeah.
the charge will trigger a
Totally
detonator
not
while the bus is
ripping
ignition.
anything
Everyone
off
runs
there.
away, leaving Peter alone to
Oh,
save MJ
gosh,
and the rest
that
of the
face
crew
of Peter.
inside.
In easy mode, Peter just needs to stop the bus from running. So you just put sugar in the gas tank or take a rag and stick it in the exhaust pipe. Personally, I wish they brought back the wrecking ball. But okay.
In hard mode, Peter has no choice but to get the people out of the bus. So he, a scientist, needs to look up a special effects master's guide on a nearby table and find some way to blend a bunch of ingredients
How is
together
a
to
kid
dissolve
in
the
1996
Okay,
supposed to figure
just a
that
few
out?
minor problems. 1. Peter should already know the best combination of ingredients to dissolve the webbing because he invented the webbing. Why does he need to look at a guide? 2. Maybe fake
Yeah,
Spider-Man
again,
is not using the same
really,
webbing
really
Peter
shows
invented,
that the
which
developers
means
of this
it's
game
probably not that strong
did
to
not
begin
pay
with.
attention to
3.
the source
This is a
material,
1996 New
or
York
they just
City
didn't
bus.
care. You're like,
These buses
screw
have
it, we'll just
emergency
make it how we want to
stowage
make
on the
it,
roof for
because we're
situations
game
in which
developers.
passengers don't have
I mean, we're
access to
starting out as game
doors.
developers,
So
but, you know.
Peter doesn't need to worry about dissolving anything. 4. Let's say Peter knows less about New York's transit system than we do, which couldn't possibly be true, but it wouldn't take a scientist or superhero to know that the windows on the bus are usually paired with a safety latch to open in cases of emergencies.
Peter really doesn't seem to be capable of thinking on his feet here.
So, of course, Peter
Yep.
saves the day with overly complicated solutions.
But oh no, because of this whole mock Spider-Man
How exactly
situation,
the bus
everyone
blew
around
up,
seems to think
we'll
Spidey's
never
the
know.
bad guy.
Spider-Man broke onto my set and nearly killed members of my cast and crew. I want his webbed head on a platter!
Peter is pretty
Jeez.
angry what we think. I'm usually pretty good at reading emotions, but I've got nothing here.
We got another divergence path with two options. One, track down and capture Vulture, the man who just tried to kill his wife and several others, thus bagging a violent and dangerous criminal and reasserting Spider-Man's good standing in the community. Or two, break and enter into the film studio's office.
You're gonna
Learn
pick
more
that
about
option.
The director because reasons.
Well, there's no way that second option could be real, right?
You'd think not, but if you choose that option, he totally trespasses on private property and breaks in by disabling the security system. Spider-Man, disappointed he's seen as a criminal.
That guy's a lunatic. Did you see that? He really wants to do me in and he's never even met me. I mean...
Goes and commits crimes.
But yet you're doing criminal things. Oh my gosh, that's where... Oh, so that's where they got the Popeye meeting Spider-Man thing from the Popeye Switch game review that they did. Oh my gosh, this freaking... That is actually hilarious. I'm not gonna lie. Again, even though this was their video and they made the wrong voice come out of him, should have actually sounded more like Popeye or whatever, but... Oh my gosh.
Menace to society.
Yeah. You're going to jail, Spider-Man. You probably don't even get to see those things
Spider-Man
anymore.
is attempting to access the director's file cabinet to get some information. On hard mode, this puzzle requires you to decipher the proper code to enter.
Again.
On easy mode, here's
Came
how
out in
you solve the
96.
puzzle.
You glance
How is
at
a
the
kid supposed to figure
director's
that out?
desk. Oh, hey, look, a single piece of paper with the code on it, and nothing else.
How?
I bet kids who were born in 96 actually played this game.
They didn't even try at all. And wait, what? A hint system for this?
There was literally nothing else in the room to click on. There's just
Wow.
the code. How stupid do they think
That
we
is
are?
some
Even if you
lazy,
choose not to break
lazy
the law,
gameplay
none
right
of the
there.
options you pick ever seem to make a difference. Spider-Man keeps finding himself in positions where he's made to look like the bad guy.
Okay, but let's say you go the route of chasing down Vulture to clear your name. Well, here's where things get repetitive.
The combat in this game mainly consists of aiming and shooting.
Oh, let me guess, gets
like
even
what we
worse.
saw in the Mysterio fight earlier. Pretty easy to deal with.
But the other scenes where Spider-Man isn't slinging his webs,
Yikes,
poorly
Hobgoblin.
designed and quickly animated
Oh,
Spider-Man
wow.
jumps onto one of four sides of the screen while an enemy either throws things or shoots at him.
This game
Yikes.
is so bad. Spider-Man's controls are more like suggestions as to where he should go. You'd think they use keyboard inputs, but no, that would have been smart.
Probably something
Instead,
even
you
worse.
need to blindly
Oh,
shuffle
you've
the mouse around,
got
not
to be
knowing
kidding
where the
me.
cursor is. Spider-Man will usually not follow simple swipes of the mouse in a specific direction, so you'll be forced to repeat the action several times, furiously trying to avoid enemy projectiles.
As if the controls weren't already annoying enough, he moves slowly.
Wow.
making it insanely easy to get hit. Spider-Man also has use of his spidey sense to know where not to go, but it's poorly implemented.
You're better
Thing
off
is, apparently
closing your eyes
Vulture
and
went to the
swinging
school
mouse
of
around randomly,
stormtroopers.
eventually, by pure luck,
Or no, wait, the
hopefully,
Stormtrooper
possibly,
Academy.
you'll actually pass.
Yeah,
After all
that's
of
what I
that,
meant to say.
No matter what option you choose again, seemingly everyone gets away and no important information is gleaned. We go to Peter and MJ sitting on that stupid couch again, and Peter having to pick where to go next.
They use the exact same
They
animation.
use the
and
same
facial expression they did
animation as it
last
was
time for the
before.
next choose your path scene. I mean, come on, at least draw a slightly different expression. Oh, here. I did that in like 3 minutes.
All right, let's say you choose to
Hold
go
on.
to a TV station. Peter Parker just finds
There we
Hobgoblin
go.
terrorizing the studio and scaring a guy running for mayor. As you might have guessed, Spider-Man gets set up again.
Okay,
Bad
another
combat,
character that
bad
wasn't
dialogue.
My
introduced.
real opponent is not my real opponent, is Spider-Man, for he represents what is wrong with New York.
Don't pick this option.
You might be worried about letting Hobgoblin go free to wreak havoc at this TV station if you don't go, but don't.
Oh!
What about Daredevil taking care
Dang,
of
you
Mr.
just threw him
Goblin
right
if you
into a
don't
wall.
Choose that option.
In fact, it's possible to play this game in a specific way that will lead the gamer to never see Hobgoblin at all, meaning that you wouldn't actually cross paths with the entire Sinister Six roster for this game about the Sinister Six.
And as for Hobgoblin, it's
I mean,
over.
honestly,
He gets
really
arrested. The infamous
wouldn't
Goblin
mind that at
won't show
all.
up after this point, regardless of how you progress.
Seems like we've been robbed of that ultimate action-packed fight scene where Spider-Man takes on all the Sinister Six at once. How sad.
So, Goblin is a bust. Let's go back and pick the option to go to the wrap party for the movie that was being shot. Because, yes, somehow production still continued with Superman
Guess it was a
attacking
success.
everyone and almost killing one of the main stars.
We join Peter as he's standing motionless in the center of a party. Typical.
Surrounded by random people.
Just looks like everyone's staring at Peter like he's about to announce something.
Best part is that this is the only section
Really
where
couldn't
another
have positioned
superhero
them
makes
better,
a
could you,
cameo.
game?
The Falcon.
Yep, he's this guy right here, giving off crazy obvious hints to who he is.
You've met Spider-Man? I fly with some pretty strange birds now and then.
You seem familiar. Have we met before?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I've got a good eye for faces.
Little
My wife says
random
I've got
Marvel
like a
tidbit
falcon.
there.
Falcon?
After talking to enough people, a waiter walks up to Peter.
I was instructed by one of the guests to deliver this note to you.
Which guest gave it to you?
I'm sorry, sir, but I don't see the gentleman now. Perhaps he left.
An encrypted note.
Yes. Someone sent Peter a coded message.
Wow.
Let's help him out and figure out what it says.
Spider-Man, Spider-Man.
Here we go again.
A puzzle again. Word riddles aren't his thing. What goes where? Just guessing. Watch out. Words confused.
Spider-Man.
Spider-Man.
Wow.
So none of these actually worked.
Let's use the hint system to see what the answer is.
The note says, find Schmedical, where your wife died.
Okay. I understood everything in that sentence besides whoever's name that was.
Find Schmedical, where your wife died.
It took us a half an hour to figure out how to spell this guy's name.
It's pronounced different than it's spelled.
Schmedical.
Schmadical?
Schmedical.
Schmadical.
So, of course, we tried typing that freaking name in a ton of different ways.
You know what the name actually is?
Find Smerdyakov or your wife dies.
Wait.
What?
Peter said a completely different name than what was in the answer of the hint.
Find Schmedical, where your wife died.
Find Smerdyakov or your wife dies.
Schmedical.
Smerdyakov.
Schmedical.
Smerdjakov.
Or the woman was trying to
was
pronounce
wrong.
it since
was
it's
just
a
wrong.
German
How do you
name.
get the answer to your own puzzle wrong? How do you do that?
We complete the stupid puzzle. We find out that one of the guests at the party is the chameleon.
Oh!
And he wants to talk.
Who
Why
would
didn't
have
they just
guessed?
Send a direct message instead of a complicated puzzle?
So why the encrypted note? Why not just approach me directly?
Because I love games.
Hey, so do we. Just unfortunate that we can't seem to find a good one around here.
Get this.
Yep.
Chameleon randomly kidnapped MJ because he believes that Peter Parker knows Spider-Man and can get in contact with him. Why would Chameleon think that Peter knows Spider-Man?
I don't know. Maybe it might have something to do with the...
Chameleon
Yeah, I
informs
think that's pretty
Peter that
obvious.
The Sinister Six are working together and want to confront Spider-Man. To further threaten Peter into doing his bidding, Chameleon morphs into the mutilated and butchered body of MJ to show him what is in store if he doesn't cooperate.
Oh, good. Violent imagery. You know, for the kids. Chameleon bids a hasty farewell and...
Clearly
vanishes
not.
into defiance.
So Spider-Man heads out to some virtual reality studio where the Sinister Six are hiding out.
Oh boy, mid-90s VR. My eyes still burn from the
Yikes.
Spider-Man gets into the joint and finds out that all of his greatest enemies are on the top floor. So he jumps into a nearby elevator shaft and while crawling comes face to face with
Whoa!
Doc Ock.
Trespassing on private property is a crime punishable by death, Spider-Man.
Now, look, I'm not saying I support Dr.
think Doc Ock was
but he seems to be
thinking
more
himself
aware
above
that
the law.
breaking and entering is a crime.
So Mr. Spidey fights Mr. Octopus in an endless elevator shaft with widely swinging CG arms just flying all over the place. It's returned
Give this
to
game some
everyone's
credit. That's
favorite
actually a pretty
terrible
cool
combat sequence.
Once
little
you pass
sequence
it,
of Doc Ock's
and the game
arms.
reveal that they're trying to ruin Spider-Man's public image, which by now didn't have to say that. Fake Spider-Man sealing up people in a bus that was going to explode. Clear enough.
Spider-Man goes back to the movie set.
You know, I think I'm going to come out and say it. This might be, without a doubt, one of the worst Spider-Man games I have ever seen in my life. Even though we're only halfway, almost done with this video, and we haven't even gotten a full review from these guys yet, this literally is one of the worst Spider-Man games I've seen in my life. That's definitely a statement I could say, because I've played some pretty bad Spider-Man games. This one actually will take the cake.
Goes back to the movie.
Let's just
set and
continue on,
finds
because it's probably
Reporter
going
talking
to
MJ.
get way worse from
Appears
here.
Not to be kidnapped anymore, I guess. And anyway, Spidey discovers that the director of the movie, Chip Alvarez, and that one guy running for
Yikes.
mayor were both kidnapped by the fake Spider-Man.
Spider-Man has returned to the scene of the kidnapping. Why are you back, Spider-Man? Do you plan to kidnap others?
Look, you have it all wrong. I didn't kidnap anyone.
There were eyewitnesses to the kidnapping.
By the way, during this enlightening moment, Spider-Man speaks to MJ in front of the reporter and calls out MJ by name.
What's going on, MJ?
You, think a reporter might be able to figure out that maybe
Again, developers don't care about the source material, so they're just going to do whatever they want. You know, it's not like Peter could have just pulled MJ off to the side, you know, staged like it looked like he's kidnapping her, but then again, that would have been way worse. That is not the best idea that I could have come up with. But still, you know, I'm sure the reporter is not going to hear that, even though she's
Spider-Man
literally right
actually
next to them.
MJ, and that might be a kind of issue or something.
Well, the
reporter's
bigger
probably
issue
brain
is that
dead.
A police officer rushes up to Spider-Man to arrest him. This gives Spider-Man two options: confront the Sinister Six, the exciting superhero option, or leave the room for a few seconds.
Nope, you always go for the
change
top
and
option.
walk right back in as Peter Parker, in front of the reporter who just heard Spider-Man speaking to MJ.
What's going on, MJ?
And knows what Spider-Man sounds like, and maybe might be able to put two and two
I take it
together
back.
and figure out that
Everyone in this
Spider-Man
game is
Peter
brain dead.
freaking Parker.
But no, of course she doesn't realize it. Nobody in the room does. It's a room full of adults.
The next time Spider-Man shows his face, we'll be ready for him.
So now Peter is in the room. He magically figures out that Mysterio might be the guy faking being Spider-Man.
And he just
Since
did that
apparently
while
Mysterio's
off
illusions
camera.
Don't show up on camera. The security footage might help to clear his name. Camera system needs to be rewired to turn on, so we get
Wow.
a puzzle. By this point, the devs
Even more
have
complicated
checked out
puzzle.
because this puzzle
Yay.
is beyond stupid.
Honestly, there's no way you're able to figure this out since the only thing the fuse box says is to customer, Starfront Pictures. In case of emergency, use company ID for manual reset.
There is no way to solve this unless you use the hint system, because the answer to this puzzle is to draw out the letters S and P on the grid. Nobody was gonna get that. They know it, and we know it. That's why the hint system just gives you the answers after a while. They completely failed. What if somehow you
How is he
figured
supposed to
S and P
figure that
were the
out?
letters you needed to put in, but didn't know how to put them in the exact correct position? Stupid.
Peter proves that Mysterio was Spider-Man all along, and the animation and drawing quality.
Yikes.
You just can't help but look at all the
even
awful,
Peter's
every
facial
single
animation gets
person looks
worse.
creepy.
Spider-Man goes back to the VR studio to finally confront the Sinister Six for good.
Now here we're gonna get an assortment of choices that range all over. Simple ones too, like go through the left door or right door. There's no way to know what's correct.
Seems
so
like an
pay
easy
attention,
choice,
people, 'cause
but-
this is gonna be important for later.
We go left, and we meet the Shocker. Shocker reveals that he wants to double-cross the Sinister Six before they can double-cross him. But the best part is right here, when Spider-Man asks Shocker what they're doing in the VR studio in the first place.
So what's this factory about? With the Sinister Six involved, it can't be just fun and games.
To the average person, the V64 virtual reality gaming units this factory is producing look like cutting-edge video games.
This is
Dr. Octopus has used
a lot of exposition that he's dumping on Spider-Man right here.
Subliminal programming that can implant messages into the minds of users. Prolonged exposure to the simulations can hypnotize users into acting out pre-programmed commands.
Did you get all that? Because that was the first time we've heard anything about video game consoles and subliminal messages or anything like that.
This is pretty crazy, right? Throwing key information like this in out of nowhere?
But he goes on, revealing where the Sinister Six are and that Chip Alvarez, the director, was kidnapped a really long time ago. Like, before the game even started. And Chameleon was impersonating him the whole time.
It is a lot of
And
info
guy
dumping
who
that
wants
he's
to
pretty
run
much
from
giving
war
out
that we
in this
still don't care about,
one
he's been
moment.
working with the Sinister Six the entire time as well.
It's like all the game's plot was put on hold up until this very moment, and a random character just dumps everything on you all together in one go. And the Shocker? You might have never seen him yet, because don't forget, if all the way back at the start of the game you didn't follow the cops, this would be the first time you're interacting with him.
So after that info dump, you get to choose. Trust the Shocker or don't.
Oh, call me crazy, but I think he's telling the truth. Let's just go ahead and trust him.
The next batch of combat scenes have you fighting Mysterio and Chameleon again with that terrible combat system.
Wow. Spy taking out Vulture.
Spider-Man confronts Doc Ock, who reveals that the real Chip Alvarez has been attached to a VR system that will erase his brain, or something, forcing Spider-Man to pick between fighting Doc Ock or saving the director and letting the octopus get away.
Well, Spider-Man would never sacrifice a life, so we pick the option to save Chip.
Spider-Man and Shocker find the machine, and Spider-Man jumps into VR by getting fused with some yellow beam or some garbage. And all of a sudden,
or that's the yellow energy from Sinestro.
Wow. Circling void that is making me motion sick. Because this is what VR looked like in the 90s, I guess. Another
My hands are huge.
Spider-Man eventually wins.
Huh. Did not expect it to end like that. Although there's like 5 minutes left of this video, so that could have been multiple ending choice or whatever. Yeah, in old games and old choose your own adventure books used to do that, but to be honest, this is the worst choose your own adventure kind of thing that is out here now. So let's continue on and see what other endings this game has to offer. Probably not good ones, I'll tell you that.
Away, which turns out to be a bad ending?
I'm real lost here. How is this the bad ending? Everyone was saved and the majority of the Sinister Six were
not even sure how that was a bad ending, but
a way to capture
okay.
Doc Ock that we missed. Oh, I know. Let's try that last sequence again and fight Doc Ock instead of saving Chip. I bet you he was bluffing and won't really wipe his brain or whatever.
Looks like we missed
I don't know about that. Wow, that is a real bad boss fight.
Spider-Man is jumping around the screen like a jackrabbit.
Good lord.
Usually had Spidey sense kick in at least to give you a brief hint as to where you're supposed to avoid attacks. Not this one, though. You're on your own, staring at a poorly drawn and badly animated Doc Ock.
Oh, gotta love that his arms were CG in the elevator, which kind of looked cool, but in the final boss fight, they just give up and resort to MS Paint images being animated.
One incredibly long, hard,
kick to the face!
Combat scene later, this happens.
You're too late. Dr. Octopus's program has destroyed Alvarez's mind.
No, there has to be a way.
He's gone. It's not your...
Wow. So he really did fry this guy's mind. It's a little dark for a kid's game. Who am I kidding? They showed the mutilated corpse of Mary Jane from the Chameleon, so thank you for that. But also, Spider-Man apparently was upset that this guy died. Peter? You've barely known this guy, and yet you care about him. This entire game, he's pretty much... Again, it was the Chameleon after all, but still, this guy pretty much badmouthed you this entire game. Why do you care all of a sudden?
Did it just cut to credits? No MJ?
Did it just instantly fade to black to the ending?
The bad ending we already got?
I mean,
wow, that's really lazy.
Right, so Spider-Man is obviously upset,
just
but
wow.
Shocker was consoling Spider-Man? He's a criminal, right? Why would he care about how Spider-Man, his nemesis, feels?
Righty, restarting from the top. Let's go through the right door this time.
The mayor guy is there, and at this point we know he's a liar, so we don't trust him. We select the don't trust him button, and bam! The Sinister Six pour out of a door and beat the crap out of Spider-Man and throw him into a dumpster across the street.
Jeez.
This ending has Peter talking to MJ on the couch, but he seems strangely okay for a guy who just got seriously injured. But this is probably the worst possible ending you can get in the game because Spider-Man totally loses.
So, you want to know how you get the good ending?
Meet the Shocker. Let him reveal the truth. Instead of trusting the guy who's telling the truth, you attack him.
This next part broke the brains.
In this scenario, Shocker is subdued. We walk into the next room to confront the rest of the Sinister Six, but they've been pre-captured in some sort of bizarre bubble.
So yeah, apparently he was telling the truth.
The field we've seen in this game was used by Shocker. Remember the door at the bank?
This begs the question, how did Shocker use a force field while subdued?
Why didn't he use a force field on the Six when he's trying to help Spider-Man in the other version of this scene?
Nobody knows.
But now you can rush over to Chip and save him without his brain getting zapped.
But even with this ending, Spider-Man still let Shocker go afterwards because he realized
not the smartest idea there, Spider-Man, but okay.
We freeze him. By the way, Shocker still took hostages, still robbed a bank, but to Spider-Man, I guess that's not a big deal.
And now we finally see the good ending. MJ and Peter are on that
Same old
darn
couch.
couch again, where...
You need to focus your attention on something else. Like me.
This part of the
Ooh, steamy.
so bad.
Ooh, steamy.
Yeah, that seems to be how they ended it. Game for kids.
So that
everyone.
apparently was the good ending, I
This game has
guess.
got to be the worst of the licensed Spider-Man games. One that largely flew under
Wow.
the radar by most. And that was probably a good thing.
The gameplay is brutal. The puzzles aren't puzzling. The writing is bland. The
Yeah.
story doesn't click. But, you know, the worst of it? The animations. They seem to be lower quality than what was the norm for 1996. Don't forget, this is the same year that Broken Sword came out, with animations that looked like this.
By comparison, it almost looks like the animators were forced to animate against their will.
Well, about that, yeah. In the credits, we found a secret message that might clue us in as to what happened.
No animals were harmed during the taping of this game. However, the
Yikes.
animators incurred severe injuries at various times. But hey, that's what you get. It's just bad.
All right, there you go, guys. That was my reaction to Just Bad Games, Spider-Man: The Sinister Six. But yeah, I'm still sticking with my statement that that is definitely one of the worst Spider-Man games that I have seen in my entire life. Oh, hold on. Yeah, literally one of the worst. And hey, again, if there's any other Just Bad Games or rerez videos you want me to react to, let me know in the comment section down below. And apologies for the sniffling and coughing. Yeah, still trying to get over, like, feeling sick since, like I said, we got back from Savannah and everyone just, like, started feeling sick. So it's just one of those days, guys. Just one of those days. And if you notice that I did change my sweatshirt in the video, yeah, this is because I'm filming it on, like, different days while trying to get over my sickness and everything. I don't know, I was sickless. I don't know why I said that. Anyway, with that being said, thank you all for watching this video. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and click that notification bell to never miss a video. And with that, I'll see all you awesome guys and gals later. Bye-bye!